Welcome to the Normal Nerds podcast. This episode, we're going to be talking about a hot debate over the internet. The original three starters in Pokemon, Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. Who's the best? Well, me and Davis disagree, and I'll tell you why he's wrong. But I'm your host, Maxwell and
And I'm your plant type trainer host, Davis Bates.
Well, by that, you can already tell which one Davis thinks is best.
Oh, easy.
Davis, just give a quick rundown why you think yours is the best.
Okay, so I think Bulbasaur is by far the best of the original trio. First off, he's a dinosaur, which is insanely cool. And scientists cannot categorize Bulbasaur. They're not sure if they're plant type or animal type, which I thought was super cool in the show when it first came out because they're a scientific mystery. But overall, I think Bulbasaur is one of the coolest because I think as one of the original plant types, he had some of the coolest abilities. Vine Whip, the way he did it was always the most interesting, I thought, with his two signature Vine Whips coming out. And I always loved him in the show personally. I thought he was one of the more endearing Pokemon. He used to play with Togepi in the television show. Was always super fun that way. And I like the way, and originally in the show, maybe this is where it originally starts. They found Bulbasaur on in a preserve for abandoned Pokemon, and that hit me hard in the heart. And so that's one of the big reasons I enjoyed Bulbasaur. But overall, as a starter, I think he always looked the coolest. And especially even through the rest of his evolutions, I thought they were the most interesting ones that came out of everything. And they're also the ones that probably look the most proportionally correct in my mind.
Okay. Yeah. Bulbasaur, sure, yeah. We'll get into we'll get into our full-on debate. It's gonna be a lot of yelling probably in this episode.
Oh, probably, because
we're gonna talk over a lot. First, before I get into we both put Charmander last. We both put him last.
Easily.
Yeah. I picked Squirtle. Obviously, I picked Squirtle because Squirtle's the coolest one out of all of them. First of all, he's just cool. That already alone.
He's just
Whoa,
cool.
I did not interrupt you when you were talking about Bulbasaur.
Oh, God, I'm gonna get more of a drink for this one.
Yeah. Squirtle's cool. First of all, water Pokemon are some of the coolest Pokemon in the show already. Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, the plant ones are real cool. Besides Bulbasaur, who else we got? No Gyarados, that's for sure.
Trico, and then you had
Trico. Did you just whip out Trico as someone who's cool?
because he has some of the coolest evolutions ever, and Trico was an awesome Pokemon. Don't you even shit on him.
Oh yeah, because the plants definitely have Lugia and stuff like that.
then you got Torterra thrown in there and his evolutions.
Lame. Oh, lame.
You're full of crap.
First of all, Squirtle, he's already cooler than cooler. His backstory is way more interesting. And then just they found him at a reserve. He's from this cool little Squirtle gang.
He was a thug. He was a thug.
Yeah,
okay.
He was a thug, and he reformed.
Oh my God! He
just took his sunglasses off.
He just took his sunglasses off. That's all he did.
To join up with Ash because he knew he was. No, he struggled leaving the Squirtle squad. He struggled. It was
he took his glasses off.
It was tough for him. By the way, yeah, okay. So then he's already cool. I mean, first of all, he wore sunglasses. If Bulbasaur ever wore sunglasses, no. He wore sunglasses, which Squirtle doesn't even need sunglasses to be cool. Then Wartortle, who's awesome. Also, don't interrupt. I saw you about it. Wartortle, who's also awesome. And then out of the top three final evolutions, Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. Blastoise is the coolest one out of all of them. First of all, let's imagine we're playing this Pokemon game like when we all first started playing this Pokemon game. We're children. What's the coolest one you could have picked? I don't know. The freaking turtle with cannons on his back that does Hydro Blast, which is way cooler than any other move the rest of them do. By far. Hydro Pump was way cooler than the rest of that any of them do.
What is not cooler than any of the other ones that they do?
Also, I like to point out
you got your Bullet Seed, you got your Leeching Seed,
Vine Whip
you got your
not even that cool.
Vine Whip is insane.
First of all, Bulbasaur is a virgin.
Oh my God! What? How?
Bulbasaur
how is Squirtle the Squirtle from the the entire his gang of
the
dudes?
Thug gang. They were cool. They were picking up.
No, they were
edgy.
Chicks. No, they were stealing fruit or some dumb shit. They weren't doing
anything.
They just ran around saying no. They're the kids in high school who are they're the anime kids in high school. It's I got cool sunglasses. I'm cool, but they're not really cool. They're trying to be ironically cool.
They even showed them as cool. First of all, Bulbasaur is literally just a massive dork. He's just a dork. He just has no cool thing going on. He's that kid. He's that kid at the party.
When they found him, he was on an abandoned Pokemon reserve trying to protect other Pokemon from getting caught.
That's not even a good backstory. I couldn't even remember that. That's how lame.
How is that even a good backstory?
I could barely remember it.
Oh, but
that Squirtle squad, even Charmander's
so much cooler.
Because it's difficult for Squirtle to leave the Squirtle squad. That's his family.
It's difficult for Bulbasaur to start trusting people again after he was in banned.
No one even. Yeah, Charmander already has that story, and it's way better. His trainer treated him like shit, so like he had trouble trusting people. That's way better than like, what do we do with this one? Oh, he's like was abandoned, I guess. It's like the same thing as Charmander, except so Squirtle already has an original one compared to those two of like trust each other.
God, a terrible one. It's a Squirtle. Also, they don't even act like Pokemon. They're just
Bulbasaur is literally that kid at the party when you're like, hey man, you want a drink? They're like, I have to call my mom first to make sure it's okay.
That's a total lie.
While Squirtle's in the back on the beer pong table, 6 games in, kicking ass.
That's a total lie. Bulbasaur can definitely throw him back, no problem. He likes having a good time just as much as everyone else. But he's not going to be, in the basement there playing beer pong and being edgy down there. No, he's going to be hanging out and socializing with everyone else at the party. That's what Bulbasaur
not really
is.
Even that edgy. He
wears sunglasses and only hangs out with
That doesn't make you edgy. He was just cool.
In the world of Pokemon, that makes you insanely edgy.
No, Charmander
makes you edgier than Darkrai. That's what makes you edgy.
No, Charmander had an edgy backstory. His was like edgy, and he was like, I can't trust anyone. Meh. Squirtle was just like, I'm a cool dude, having a good time, looking awesome. First of all, and let's talk about this. We'll move on to this. First of all, obviously everyone's like, wow, Max.
They're totally on my side because you're full of crap.
No,
sunglasses are cool. Yeah,
he's already cool. First of all, Squirtle just looks cooler than Bulbasaur.
I think Bulbasaur looks way cooler.
What? The little thing with the flower on his back instead of a badass turtle?
Awesome. Yeah,
a badass turtle.
We're stretching that with a badass turtle.
Okay, a cute turtle.
So a cute plant type who looks like a dinosaur. I think that's awesome.
He looks like he's never touched a boob in his life.
Oh my god! I definitely know Squirtle hasn't because he's only hanging out with his dudes all the time with their sunglasses.
What? Okay,
no female Pokemon
that is a lame thing. It's like most guys usually hang out with guys and then they go out and they pick up chicks with Squirtle.
Yeah, but I feel like Squirtle's the one that friend that is like the group that only hangs out with dudes and they don't know how to talk to women. They're just like,
are you telling me Squirtle?
I'm Squirtle. I'm super cool. I'm bad. And suddenly a woman walks over. It's like,
okay. Squirtle, whose other evolutions are Wartortle and Blastoise, who are just like badass as balls.
Wartortle is not badass.
His name is Wartortle.
No, what? No, he gets a bigger shell and a more flowy tail. That's
and
about
6
it.
Ears.
Oh, those you're basing this off that is garbage. He looks terrible.
Badass.
I actually think Squirtle's worst evolution. Actually,
he looks like Wartortle looks like because you got Ivysaur. Ivysaur and Wartortle
cool.
looks like Ivysaur looks like once again Wartortle's walking around. He's badass. Ivysaur is the person who gets pushed down. He's like, what do I do? And Wartortle's like, don't worry, buddy. I got it for you. I got it for you, buddy. I got it for you. I got it for you.
Crap, and
you know what? No. You know what? Wartortle is way more Naruto than Ivysaur would ever be.
That is a dirty lie. That is a dirty lie. There's no way. He's not even close to way more Naruto at all.
Yeah. So is Squirtle.
No, Squirtle is not. Squirtle is a thug.
No, he's not a thug. He's reformed thug.
They were a thug. Oh my god.
He's reformed.
He's a thug.
Look at his backstory. It's already way more interesting. He actually has character development.
No, he just takes his sunglasses off. That's all he does.
No, it's difficult for. Anyways.
It's difficult for Bulbasaur as well. I can't
You can barely remember. Exactly. You can barely remember.
No, he was at the abandoned farm with I can't remember the girl's name. I want to say it's like Melanie or Mel or something like that. Probably. And it was an abandoned Pokemon, and he was like distrusting of Ash, and he was trying to stop people from getting caught and like fighting off trainers that he didn't trust.
Bulbasaur is the little brother. That's what Bulbasaur is.
Oh my god.
He's the little brother. Yeah, that's what he is.
And Squirtle's the littlest brother who's just like,
what? No, Squirtle's the oldest
I want to be cool as my older brother Bulbasaur. That's what I want to do, but I'm going to do it all the wrong way.
Bulbasaur isn't cool. First of all, Bulbasaur isn't cool. He's just literally not cool. He's like literally not cool.
He's so cool.
Yes,
he is. He's so cool.
If you're like a Boy Scout who has like 5 layers on your magic card, sure, yeah, then you think Bulbasaur is cool.
That's a total lie. What do you mean a Boy Scout? The first introduction we get with Bulbasaur, he's attacking Ash's Pokemon. Like, that is what he is doing.
Yeah, but not like in the way you think. He's just doing it because he's a bitch and he doesn't know what to do. First of all, also
He's defending another Pokemon.
If any of these Pokemon were going to be simps, Bulbasaur would definitely be the simp.
I disagree with that.
Oh, for sure.
I disagree with that hardcore. I would say that Charmander would definitely be the simp, but yeah.
All right,
the guy that only sat on a rock for a guy that abandoned him for about 3 days.
All right, okay. You know that's actually then it'd be Bulbasaur. But okay, so Ivysaur first off is a forgettable evolution. Let's just point that out. Forgettable.
Disagree. Wartortle is a forgettable evolution.
No,
he only gets a flowy tail. At least Ivysaur's flower blooms. At least his flower blooms, so we actually show that he is like evolving and getting bigger and better. Wartortle just like gets a new hairstyle. Is essentially what you're telling me.
No, he looks completely different. First of all, he looks completely different. Yeah, his
he changes his color a little bit.
His flower blooms, and man, there's nothing else going on.
As opposed to Wartortle, who just has a flowy tail and
who looks completely different.
His neck, still looks like a dumb turtle.
First of all, the fact that you're dissing turtles out here is ridiculous.
I'm dissing Squirtle turtles, yes.
Squirtle turtles. And then on top of that, I won't die. Venusaur, pretty cool. But Blastoise is definitely the coolest out of all of them. That is an actual fact.
Especially
he's a turtle with cannons.
Yeah, which exactly in what part of his other evolutions does that make sense at all? Does Squirtle have like any type of gun in his back? No, he just gets metal in his back for some fucking reason.
Awesome.
That makes no sense.
Awesome.
Makes not even a lick of sense. Bulbasaur to Ivysaur to Venusaur makes way more sense than any of Squirtle's evolutions.
Exactly why Squirtle's already cooler than that. Bulbasaur is I'm gonna evolve that like makes kind of semi-sense for this retarded world that makes no sense. And it's gonna be simple and easy. We're not gonna get too crazy. Bulbasaur's like, I'm gonna get fucking guns. I mean, Blastoise's like, I'm gonna get fucking guns. I'm gonna get guns on my back. And it's gonna be
sick. Is so dumb.
Also, his face looks way cooler. He's always like, yeah.
I will admit, yes, his face looks cooler than Squirtle's or Wartortle's because they look dumb.
And Bulbasaur. Like, Venusaur looks like he doesn't even know what he's doing.
Cool. Venusaur he looks menacing, actually, to me.
Actually, surprisingly, for the biggest nerd Pokemon, Venusaur looks like the retard of the final 3 revolutions. Like, he never even knows what's going on.
He looks menacing. He looks like he's definitely the guy who's walking down the street. You get out of the way.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Blastoise, you'd be like 15 blocks away. You'd be like, get out of here.
Hell no.
Blastoise is coming.
No.
Venusaur is coming. You'd be like,
I'd be
oh, guys, don't worry.
For some reason. You have cannons in your back. Where the hell did you get metal? That makes no sense. Are those welded to your spine? This makes no sense. You had no guns anywhere else in any of evolutions. You have no.
That's
it makes no
why
sense.
It's even cooler. That's why.
No, it's not. It makes no sense.
Yes,
it
exactly.
Makes no
Bulbasaur
sense.
is such a nerd. His evolutions are boring.
No, his evolutions are the only ones that make sense, and Ivysaur and Venusaur are insanely cool. Like, Squirtle's evolutions don't even make sense. Like, maybe I'll give you a Wartortle, maybe, just because his color changes and he gets some flowy stuff, but he's still a turtle, but it's dumb. But Blastoise makes no sense. Yeah, he's still a turtle with cannons, though.
Which is awesome.
Now I'm a tank turtle.
That's just awesome.
No, it makes no
sense.
That's
literally just awesome. That's literally just awesome.
He's like the only Pokemon that has metal in his back.
Stop trying to make Pokemon make sense. They're all none of them make sense.
I'm saying
a lot of
his evolutions. Well, we're talking about evolutions for the starters, and his makes the least amount of sense out of all 3, actually.
And it doesn't matter because he gets cannons, so who cares?
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
The cannons aren't even that good. They're not.
What do you
mean?
What
does he do? What does he do? He shoots hydro pump out of there. Like
he shoots so much water it fucks you up.
No.
What does Venusaur do? He's like he stomps and he gets all serious and then he just lets off a bunch of spores. You're like, ooh, cool, dude. That's awesome.
He has Solar Beam, which is at the time was the strongest plant Pokemon spell or plant Pokemon attack, which was insanely powerful. And then he also
shoots out of his mouth because that makes sense.
Yeah, because the flower absorbs it and puts it into his body.
And then he just opens his mouth and just shoots out a beam, which he could never do before. So speaking of like doing things that all of a sudden,
didn't know Solar Beam before. Look what he did.
He never had any mouth abilities. Never had any mouth abilities. All of a sudden, he just could just shoot stuff.
It's like there's only one. If that makes you feel any better, because that makes sense that way. Because he absorbs the sunlight into his body and releases.
I will say it makes sense because it's Pokemon. Just like it makes sense that a Pokemon just all of a sudden gets new things on their body. Totally makes sense too.
Not metal things. That makes no sense.
No, makes total sense. First of all,
no, not in the slightest.
Okay.
And know what the creators were doing? Know what the creators were doing when they were making this? Like, oh man, we made Venusaur's evolution so cool. Like, Fuck, what are we gonna do with the turtle? I don't know. Give him guns? See if that
No,
helps?
that's
I don't know.
definitely not in the conversation. The conversation went like this. Hey, you know it'd be crazy if we put cannons on this turtle, and they're like, yeah, that'd be fucking sick. And they're like, let's just do it. And they're like, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
No,
And
not
then
at all.
someone's like, whoa, guys, but what about like the we already have Charizard, who's just like a potbelly like dragon, who's not a dragon.
He's a beer gut belly, yep.
Yeah. What about the other one? It's like, just make it look like the same but bigger, I guess. Like we won't even go crazy with it. We won't even get crazy with it. We'll make it the same but bigger. But that's what we did with the last one. We just like opened up his thing and just made it look slightly bigger, and then we'll just make it look slightly bigger again.
Actual cool evolution, but no, this one just gets
no. That's literally a lame.
This Pokemon had nothing.
That
to do
is how a kid
or-
named Aiden would evolve. That is exactly how a kid who literally has like $5,000 worth of Magic cards that he never plays with because he has no friends would evolve.
Into Blastoise? What are you saying right now?
No, I'm talking about Bulbasaur. Lame.
No, he evolved cool and it made sense. And Venusaur is badass.
More badass than Charizard. I would agree with that. But also, once again,
more
water
badass
Pokemon
than
are better than plant Pokemon. That's
I disagree.
What are you talking about?
Disagree. I like my plant Pokemon much more. I think they're much more interesting and much more powerful.
Well, first of all, it makes sense. Davis is, a paladin, and Bulbasaur would be a paladin. He would be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could probably agree with that. I still say he can party, but I could agree that he'll probably be
Bulbasaur definitely
the
can't
paladin.
party. He can't party.
He can definitely party. He's
But
the
also-
socialite upstairs who's hanging out with everyone.
Also, side note, you know who Squirtle's favorite superhero would be? Batman. You know what Bulbasaur's favorite superhero would be? Superman. And that is obvious. That is obvious just looking at him too. You just know, oh yeah, that's
I disagree.
that guy's gonna pick Superman as his favorite.
I disagree. I feel Charmander would probably pick Superman as his favorite.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would. Yeah. What? Yes, he would.
No, he wouldn't. You know it'd be Bulbasaur. Squirtle would either pick Batman or Deadpool. That's who Squirtle would pick. He'd pick Batman or Deadpool. Yes, he would.
No, knowing him, he'd pick something dumb like Squirrel Girl. I don't know. Something that has a tail like a war turtle. Squirrel Girl. There we go.
God. No, Squirtle is the coolest one by far. First of all, I just want to point this out. We're not talking stats, anything like this. Obviously,
I have no idea about stats. Please.
Statistically, I do know that Bulbasaur is the best stat-based Pokemon in the game.
Cool.
I do know that. But who picks Pokemon like that? That's not fun. How you pick your starter.
You pick how cool they are.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. That's why, I would say when I was younger, I thought Charmander was cool. Big mistake on my part. Let's real quick. Obviously, you've heard us yell at each other for a little bit. Let's just real quick before we go talk about why we think Charmander is number 3.
Oh my god, what a dumb Pokemon! Like, okay, I just want to point out his biggest failure that stays with him throughout the entirety of every one of his evolutions: his tail. And if the flame goes out on his tail, he dies. Meaning, if it rains too hard and his flame goes out, he dies. That makes no sense. That is the worst glass cannon I've seen in my entire life, and he's not even that strong.
True. Yeah, what happens when he fights a Pokemon with Wave?
Plot hole somehow. He can fly. Yeah. Well, what if someone has water gun? I don't know. What if it's a rainy day? What if it's a drizzly day that day? Like, are we gonna worry? Like, it's so stupid. That is something that I've made. Like, it was cool for the one. Like, I understood for like the one episode when Charmander was abandoned by his trainer, and that was Ash getting him to like him, and they had to stop his tail from going out because of the fire, a whole thing. But at the end of the day, like, probably could have picked something else there. You could probably stop Charmander from starving to death. That would have been awesome. Yeah, but no, you give him a tail that if he dies, if it goes out, it doesn't go away ever. Like, I could almost live if that was like his base evolution, like weakness, fine. But it stays with him all the way to Charizard. And is like, and plus Charizard looks dumb. Like, I will say, I actually do like Charmeleon. I like the name. I like the way that one looks. Out of the three of Charmander's evolutions, I think that's the coolest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But Charizard just looks like he's a fucking fat dragon with a giraffe neck and wings.
Not even a dragon.
Yeah, not even a dragon. No, he's not. And he's got like the T-Rex arms too. And I don't like that at all. Yeah. It's like, what were you guys thinking?
We were talking about like Bulbasaur and how he's a total dork and how you think Squirtle's like edgy, whatever, blah blah blah. That. Toss it all aside. Charizard's a dick.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a straight up douchebag. Yes. I get it. Ash is a total loser, but like. But
I also want in terms of the show, I remember this clearly too. Ash saves this little D-bag Pokemon from dying because the trainer abandoned him, and they liked each other a lot when they were Charmander and Ash, and then Charmander evolves in Charmeleon, and he becomes a total dick like instantly. He almost becomes a completely different
That's
Pokemon.
true.
Just starts being a douche, and then. But don't even get me started when Charizard comes on screen. It's like a million episodes of Ash trying to have to deal with that guy, throwing him out to fight, and he just breathes fire on Ash. It's like, douche. Who saved you from being a dumbass simp? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Also, I would say this out of the all second evolutions, with Wartortle, Charmeleon, and Ivysaur. Definitely Squirtle and Charmeleon were the two older brothers, and Ivysaur was the younger brother in that situation, for sure. They were the ones that had to buy him alcohol and like show him a good time. Not saying Ivysaur. I'm not saying. I would say Bulbasaur is a total dork. I would say Ivysaur is. Would say that.
No. In terms of that, I would say Charmeleon is the one that had
no, to. No, Charmeleon's probably.
He'd be the one that need to get. They'd be actually the older brothers because Charmeleon would be around like trying to start fires or something like a dumbass, and like then you go to older brothers to put it out.
I always see him as the middle brother because he's just got no idea what's going on. He's just like
young and dumb.
But yeah, and Charizard's got a pot belly, and I remember being younger, you thought he was cool because you're like, oh, look at this dragon thing, yeah, and then he's a dick, and you're like, oh, never mind, this guy sucks.
Yep, hard pass.
But
bad.
You've heard us yell and scream. Obviously, Squirtle's way better.
I'm totally right.
You've heard both our points. Obviously, you know what I'm going to say? Even though I don't agree with this, we make great points, both of us, all the time.
We do. We make amazing points. Yes. Yes.
But Squirtle's the best.
Wrong, but okay.